Ahoy toy, welcome to Transfixed, the channel that's got your hot rod right here. Anyway, tonight we're going to look at a couple of quick fixes for the Studio Series 86 hot rod. Now, I had a recent video where I was really praising the recent mainline releases for Hasbro and Takara's stuff. I really love the Studio Series 86 line. I love the Earthrise line. I have to admit, though, with the Cup and Hot Rod, they came in a little smaller than I was expecting. The size is just a little bit shy of their usual chug sort of scale. But other than that, they're great figures. Couple of shortcomings, though. I mean, they're just so close. I have been really saying, you know, that we want this better quality. I think we're willing to pay for it. It looks like Hasbro and Takara have called our bluff, and I'm happy they did. I just wish they'd gone all the way, you know, just that extra mile. What I'm talking about is on Hot Rod here, for example. Well, I've already done it. I've already painted this yellow part here, but there's the complaints I have are this piece here. You can see the darker red or the wrong shade of red here, and of course this is what it looked like before I started. I thought I'd just put this on Instagram. By the way, please do look up my Instagram. It's just Transfixed on Instagram, because I post a lot of stuff there that I don't make full videos for, or supplementary stuff to my videos, so you can see things like that, or just a lot of comparisons. I like to do a lot of side-by-side, you know, G1 with modern versions, things like that. Anyway, what I had done is just taken a before and after photo. For some reason, now I guess it's a molding thing, this piece here, this assembly was all in yellow. And I think that's a molding thing, like when they put the pieces in the mold, they're trying to make things as economical as possible. So they've got to mold a yellow spoiler, and they've got to mold, well, I guess that's it. I think that is the only yellow part that has to be yellow. This underneath part here they made in yellow, which makes sense. And then, I mean, it doesn't make sense, but it's fine. But then I think what they're trying to do is like split up the parts, right? So everything's molded in red plastic over here. Now, if they have to do a yellow mold, well, they may as well throw some extra parts in there to fill up the mold, or so that they can make all the yellow and red pieces at the same time. Some sort of manufacturing thing. I'm sure that's what it must be. That I'm just guessing, because there's no other reason why this would be yellow. It just really annoys me. And the same with these gray elbow joints. I don't know why these are gray. It just breaks up the figure. It's the same complaint I have with the side swipe, having the black shoulders, which end up with these black pieces on the car. Even the new version of the Kingdom Sideswipe has this, and it's horrible. They've also skimped on the paint. They gave us nice painted rims, which I always appreciate, but not on the back. I guess because they're halfway covered up. Still, I would have liked to have seen some silver there. So anyway, enough talk. The point is that we need to paint it. So yes, I've already gone ahead and done that. Now, this is not the exact match of red. You can probably see that in the camera, but I just used the Tamiya plain red X7 shade of paint here. It was close enough for me. And for the blue, this actually turned out to be a lucky match. I had this Mr. Hobby blue, just blue, number 5. That was a pretty close match to the clear, transparent, translucent canopy here, and I just painted that blue, this part red, that red. I didn't paint the mushroom peg in here because that's going to be rotating around during the transformation, and I figure the paint's just going to flake off. These are just acrylic paints. You just need those, you know, well, not those two colors, but matching colors, of course. This one is good. I would get a better red if you can, and then just a basic paintbrush. No need to spend money on that. The other thing you'll need for this is not this knife. I don't know why I have that in my hand. And you'll need a screwdriver. I think this is a 00 Phillips. I'm not sure the size, but we're gonna have to take these arms apart to do the other fix, which is to fix this gap here and here. So the paint is pretty straightforward. I just did it in vehicle mode because that's the part we're trying to fix. It doesn't really show up in robot mode. Just paint it, basically. You might want to put a clear top coat on there if you want to protect it, but I think that's good enough. Now for the arms, the problem is these front pieces here, which I'm so happy they tuck away and get out of the way, but they don't quite peg into place. They kind of do if you just mush this in, and there's also a bit of a gap here. You can see the little gap between the top here, and get that Knives I don't need, and right here, see that gap, we want to close that up. Now I have to admit, I didn't come up with this. I came across an article on tformers.com which showed this, posted by Jesslyn on her Twitter, which is at SquishyBell. I'll put the link below. Having a quick glance at her Twitter, it doesn't look like we would have a lot to talk about, but that's okay. Credit where it's due. I think that's the same Jesslyn who actually designed MMC's Backdraft, their Inferno and grapple mold. I mean, it can be explained in just a couple of photos that she posted, but I'll just go through it and show you how to do it. Now, I've done it on one side, which must have been this one. Oh dear, which one did I fix? I think I fixed this side, because that looks a little bit better, right? That gap looks smaller. Yeah, and this is pegged in here properly. The idea is this shoulder piece needs to move up a little bit. And I didn't realize that. Once you can push this up a little bit, it closes that gap, and it lets this front fender piece tab into place a little bit better. How do you do that? Well, obviously, the robot mode would be best. You can do it in robot mode, but if it's in vehicle mode, all we have to do is transform it a little bit. Okay, so we need to access the mushroom peg, not the mushroom kingdom. So these are the screws we have to remove. Of course, this is the bottom of the shoulder here. So with the right size screwdriver, a precision one will work too. You just unscrew this. Now, which one? Which one did I do? Yeah, I did this one. So this one's done. It moves up and down a little bit, just a touch. Just a touch. Okay, so we'll undo this one here. And always just make sure you get a good bite on your screw, and you don't want to strip it. These are pretty long. That's what she said. And once that's out, then you just have to kind of work it apart. So there's a seam there, and you just need to split this apart. Okay, so that'll come off. I suppose you could paint this this joint as well. Again, it's a moving part. I didn't really want to put paint on that part, although it might work. Yeah, actually that probably isn't going to hit much. You could paint that red if you wanted to. This would be the time to do it so that you don't get any on the shoulder. Just paint that right there. Maybe I'll do that. And then this piece here, now this is a bit tough to get off, I found. You just, now, because it's on a joint, which is on another joint, you might just want to find a flat surface, and you kind of need to rotate it back and forth a bit as you push it. Just make sure you push it straight off of that peg so that you don't twist the peg or put any stress on it. I think what I'll do is I'll put this on a flat surface and then push this down. Okay, so that came off. Probably some heat would have helped that loosen up as well. So anyway, this is slid off now. Yeah, it's just tight. Now this is the part that we want to cut. This curved part where it goes on around the mushroom peg, that's what you want to cut. So this is what I have the knife for here. And you just want to slowly shave. If you can get this is probably the best tip to use. That's what she said. Because it's small enough to get in there. That's what she said. And you just want to carve a little bit out at a time. It's back and forth. You know, don't go overboard. It only needs a tiny bit. I would say a millimeter. Or for my American viewers, that would be about a 1/16 of an inch. So yeah, not very much. I just kind of shave back and forth. And just make sure it's even. Always cut towards your body. For maximum damage. So you can see there's just a few flakes coming out there. And I think when you got it about here, you can see a bit of the wheel there. Yeah, it's kind of hard to gauge this, but as I said, about a 1/16 should do you. I think that's enough. That's all we need. So just smooth it out. Make sure that make sure you get the side part carved out too, so that it's not like you don't want it to taper more than it was before. You know, it needs to. What I'm trying to say, it needs to still go straight down until the curved part on the sides. That probably doesn't make sense, but I'm talking about the sides here. The sides, you got to cut a bit of the sides away. Okay, so I would say your finished cut should look a bit like that. You can just go ahead and stick it back on here. Yeah, I wouldn't push it this way or that way, trying to make it go up or down. You're gonna have to wiggle it a little bit. It'll be a lot easier to get back on than it was to get off. That's what she said. Does that work? I know. I should heat this up. But okay, there we go. Right, and then I guess we could test it. Does it go up and down? Yeah, it moves up and down a little bit. So you've got that motion now. That's what you want. That's what you want right there. Okay, so make sure you don't forget to put the rest of the arm in there. And his shoulder can now go back on there. Just straight down the way it was. The screw goes back in the original hole. Surprising, I know. And then screw it in clockwise with the screwdriver. I hope you're keeping up with these instructions. If I'm going too fast, you can slow down the video. Okay, there we go. And it should just be snug, not over tight. And just again, make sure it goes up and down now. Up and down, not too much. Great. So let's put him back into his vehicle mode. And we should be all fixed up. This is the thing. This is the thing they ruined on the Masterpiece. Man, these things were too big and they did not get out of the way. And then the hood was the wrong shape. This is really impressive. It's impressive they have a faux chest so that it's the right shape to match the cartoon, because it's harder to get it out of this chest, or the hood rather, the bonnet. The faux chest and the regular hood, and it has a smaller backpack than the Masterpiece. I mean, well done. Bravo. Okay, so now the way that this works, you gotta have the hips. By the way, make sure the hips are kind of flat so that it sits properly. And you should have a fixed up hot rod like this. And again, if you just push these shoulders up a little bit, which it could not do before, you'll close that gap. Fill that gap, that's what she said. And you'll be able to put these front fenders locked into place with a nice smooth looking vehicle mode. Let me just blow this. That's what she said. Shavings out of the way. And there we go. Yep, you're only getting one joke in this video, and I'm gonna beat it into the ground. That's what she said. Is it better? I think it's better. I think the paint makes a big difference, and that's easy to do. I did not paint the red on here, but as I said, I think you could. I was just trying to get this video done, but yes, of course you could paint those. And I think that looks nice. You can kind of see a bit of the silver peeking through here, but that's okay. I mean, it's okay with me. Is it okay with you? I hope it's okay with you. Anyway, I think that's an improvement. Let's take a look at the gap. That's what she said. Shut up. Okay, and yeah, I think it's pretty good. So there is your Studio Series 86 Hot Rod Transfixed. Thanks for watching. Good night.